On a Manhattan night, I stepped out of a taxi. I took a deep breath in front of Cavaliere, a high-end restaurant. That night was Barbara Watson's 60th birthday party, my mother-in-law. It was well known that Barbara and I had a frosty relationship, but when I received the invitation, I felt a glimmer of hope for reconciliation. That sweet notion shattered minutes after I opened the restaurant's door. "Good evening." As I approached the host's desk, a young man in a perfectly tailored suit stood there. His name tag identified him as Nathan. "I'm here to join the Watsons' party. My name is Candace Watson." Nathan glanced at his computer screen, then looked up apologetically. "I'm terribly sorry, madam, but I can't seem to find a reservation under your name." "That must be a mistake. I've been invited to my mother-in-law's birthday celebration," I insisted. "I do see a reservation for 8 people under the name of Isabella Watson, but unfortunately, your name isn't listed." His voice was suddenly cut off by a sharp tone. "Oh, Candace." As I turned, there stood Barbara, her hair perfectly coiffed, adorned in a designer dress and a sparkling diamond necklace, wearing a thin, almost mocking smile. "Did you really think I'd include you in tonight's dinner?" Her family sat at the table behind her. "I don't understand. I received an invitation from you." I tried to keep my voice steady. "Oh, dear. I didn't really think you would come. This is a family gathering. A place like this is, well, a bit out of your league. Don't you think a family restaurant would suit you better? Someone like you. With just a high school diploma." The pain of being called just a high school graduate never faded. The humiliation of being handed an apron at the Christmas party with the words, "A high school dropout waitress should be cleaning everything," resurfaced. From behind her wine glass, Emma, my sister-in-law, let out a suppressed chuckle. William, my husband, remained uncomfortably silent, offering no defense against the onslaught. "Candace." A deep, warm voice interrupted the tension. As I turned, I saw Daniel Irving, the owner of Cavaliere, approaching. Barbara's complexion turned ghostly white. She was visibly shaken as she realized that the restaurant's owner knew me personally. "Daniel. It's been a while. What's happening tonight?" Daniel's voice was calm, yet there was a steely strength beneath it. I gestured towards my in-law's table. "It appears I was not included in the reservation." Barbara crossed her arms and scoffed. "It's too late. We can't possibly make a seat for her now." "Exactly, Mrs. Watson. This restaurant does not accept last-minute reservations. However, Candace is not just a random person without a reservation, isn't she?" His voice was smooth, but his words were sharp as blades. "Isn't she your family member?" The entire table froze. "Family?" Barbara let out an incredulous laugh. "You must be mistaken. Candace is merely my son's wife. Daniel and I go way back. Before marrying William, I worked here for many years as a hall staff at this restaurant." Daniel said. "She was our most popular staff member, highly reputed among our VIP members, many of whom requested her by name." Barbara's jaw tightened, and her face paled. "Mrs. Watson, such behavior is against our policies. Sending an invitation only to embarrass someone by excluding them from the reservation is not something we tolerate. I'm sorry, but I must cancel your reservation tonight. I'll have to ask everyone to leave." "What?" Barbara's voice trembled. "You're kicking us out. We are VIP customers." "No, you are not. Candace is. Please, everyone, you must leave." The whole table froze. William stood up and whispered, "Mom, let's go." Emma and her father exchanged puzzled looks. "This is unprecedented." Barbara shook with anger. "However, it is just. Candace, you are of course welcome to stay. I will have a special table prepared for you. Oh, I said. Surprisingly, it seems I am the only one welcome at this restaurant tonight. This is ridiculous, Barbara repeated. I leaned over the table where she was sitting, lowering my voice just enough so that only they could hear me. What's ridiculous is that you think you can humiliate me without consequence. Barbara was furious, but there was nothing she could do. Other patrons watched the unfolding scene with keen interest. A few of Barbara's social acquaintances observed from another table. Daniel brought a chair over to our family's table and said, "Please have a seat while I prepare another one." He seemed to decide it was worth continuing our conversation, monitoring the guests who did not leave the restaurant. Her humiliation was complete. William said to me, "Let's talk later." However, his eyes flashed a mixture of humiliation and anger. He had always sided with his mother. I had hoped he would defend me when his mother demeaned me. But he always avoided it. And now, he was about to be thrown out with his mother. It's natural for someone like you to know people in the hospitality industry, Barbara said with a forced smile. Hospitality. The service industry. Waiters, kitchen work. Jobs that are quite different from what our family is accustomed to. Her words were clearly insulting. You make it sound like a bad thing. You have always looked down on me, for my education and for my job, I responded. What I meant was, it must have been quite an adjustment for someone of your lower status to fit into an upper-class family like ours. William just listened as his mother made derogatory comments about my past job. This wasn't the first time Barbara had tried to humiliate me. She had conveniently forgotten to invite my family to the rehearsal dinner at our wedding. On my birthday, she gave me a cookbook titled, "Simple Recipes for the Ignorant Wife," and he said nothing. But this time was different. Daniel's presence empowered me. It reminded me that there are other people who respect and value me. For years, I had hoped to be accepted by William and his family. I had tried to meet their standards. But now, I was seeing myself clearly, as a strong, capable woman who did not need their approval. Patrons at nearby tables were looking at me with interest. "Who is that?" someone whispered. To that question, another customer responded, "That's the legendary waitress of Cavaliere. She's the reason I became a member here." Barbara turned back to me with a strained smile. "So, Candace, how's your little boutique doing? Still making those? What were they? Accessories?" "Handmade jewelry, Barbara," I replied calmly. "And actually, it's no longer a little business. Last month, we opened our second store on Madison Avenue." "Well, that's nice," she said, her voice hollow. "Yes, it really is wonderful. We were featured in the latest issue of Vogue, and our list of celebrity clients is growing." "That's very interesting. William must have done something special for you." There was another insult. "No," I said quietly. "Actually, I started my business on my own. With my own money." Barbara chuckled dismissively. "Oh, Candace. Modesty is fine, but we all know. Without William, your lifestyle would have been very different. Let's toast to my wonderful son. Without his generosity," I said firmly, yet calmly. "Barbara, I am not financially dependent on William. Sure, your little jewelry hobby must make a nice pocket change. It's not a hobby, it's a business," I corrected. "And last year, our revenue exceeded $4 million. Barbara's jaw dropped slightly. Emma choked on her wine. For the first time, William looked at me attentively. Well, thanks to William's connections, surely." "No, Barbara. When I launched my first collection, William was still a junior analyst in the finance world. He didn't have connections then. But we all know how generous William was when he met you." Barbara raised her voice. "Generous? I interrupted her. Barbara, let me make it clear that your facts are wrong. For 5 years, I have been insulted by this woman. For 5 years, I have endured in silence. But I've had enough. When William and I met, I was a waitress, but I was also studying jewelry design. He was a business school student living off an allowance from both of you. When I married him, I had already started a small online business. In fact, my savings were larger than any of his assets. William looked uncomfortable. A few years ago, when William said he wanted to start his own hedge fund, where do you think the startup capital came from? A deathly silence fell. All eyes shifted from me to William. I'll continue. Half of his investment project was financed with my money. That's a lie. Barbara whispered. William didn't build his career alone. When he wanted to start his investment fund, he had no capital. I continued. He had great ideas, but in the financial world, without capital to take risks, ideas are just dreams. But I had it. From my savings and the profits of my early business, we launched his hedge fund. Most of what is called his breakthrough was actually a venture jointly funded by us. William. Her voice was laden with a strong expectation that he would deny my claims. William slowly raised his face, showing shame, guilt, and relief. That's true, Mom. He said quietly. Candace. She was my first and biggest investor. You've made fools of us. There was a look of betrayal in Barbara's eyes. Her entire foundation was crumbling. No, Barbara. I said. You made a fool of me. You judged me without trying to know who I am or what I have achieved. I stood up. You think this world is based only on lineage and tradition. But it's not. It's based on results and contributions. And I have proven my worth on both accounts. I am not someone's charity case, nor someone's accessory. I am a woman who has succeeded on her own, and I am proud of it. Barbara was speechless. And now, it's clear you did not welcome me here at your special birthday dinner. Perhaps it's time I leave. I looked at William, challenging him with my eyes. I was giving him a chance to choose. It was his time to stand by my side. But he had never stood up for me before. And tonight was no different. Candace. You shouldn't make a scene in front of everyone. He said softly. It's not over yet. And I turned back to Barbara. I thought your son was a brave and honest man. Just as I supported his success as a businessman, I thought he would support me. But it seems he lacks courage, just like you. How dare you talk about my son? How dare I? I'm the woman who loved him, believed in him, and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in his vision, the one whom he can't protect. I spread my hands. If he's that kind of man, then you didn't raise him to be a real man. Those words struck like an arrow, and Barbara's face turned bright red. William, looking panicked, grabbed my arm. Candace, let's stop this. Let's leave. Yes, I'm leaving. But as he hurried to exit the restaurant, I stood still. What are you waiting for? I'm leaving, but not with you. His expression changed from confusion to understanding. What do you mean? Just what you heard. I'm going home. Alone. Tomorrow, I'll be calling my lawyer. His face was drained of all colors. A lawyer? Stop, Candace. This is just what? Just a misunderstanding? Just a night when you let me be humiliated in front of your mother? I shook my head. No, William. This is the last straw. For a while, I've been waiting for you to stand up and choose your wife. But you never did. Tears appeared in William's eyes. Not from regret, but from fear. He wasn't afraid of losing his wife, he was afraid of the impact on his company and his reputation. Candace, we can resolve this. Let's talk tomorrow. After we've both calmed down. It's too late, William. You've made your choice tonight. And now, I'll make mine. I spoke evenly. What a lovely birthday party, Barbara. Did you make a wish? I have one. I wish to never see you again after tonight. Barbara made a feeble attempt to retort. You're going to lose William. I smiled sadly. William? I lost him a long time ago. He was always yours. But let me tell you what I won't lose: my business, my wealth, and my self-respect. 40% of William's business is mine, Barbara. And my business is entirely my own. If we get divorced, William will lose a significant part of his empire. I shrugged. That's business. As I've learned, sometimes the best business decision is to recognize a loss and move on. I waved at Daniel, then sat down at the seat he had prepared for me. Candace, wait. William cried out. We shouldn't end our relationship like this. I stopped and turned to look at him. This is something I need to do for myself, William. To stand up for myself because you wouldn't. Goodbye. With that, Daniel and Nathan, having made the agreement earlier, escorted them out of the restaurant. Both of us knew that this night marked the end of our marriage. And strangely, I felt relieved. When I got home, I pulled out my cell phone and found the name of the best divorce lawyer in town. Anderson speaking. Her voice was sharp and businesslike. Jessica, this is Candace Watson. I apologize for the late hour, but I need to meet with you tomorrow. There was a brief pause on the other end. Watson? As in William Watson's wife? For now, I intend to change that. Jessica chuckled softly. You've piqued my interest. Please come at 9 a.m. As soon as I hung up, my apartment's doorbell rang. It was Emma. Emma, I'm really not in the mood to talk to any more Watsons tonight. She breezed past me into the house. Neither am I. She retorted. Especially not to Mom. After we left the restaurant, all hell broke loose. She was hysterical, blaming William. He panicked, and Dad tried to calm him down. And I needed to know the truth. The truth? Is it true that you invested in William's business? That you own 40% of his company? I nodded. It's all documented. He never told us. We always thought he did it all by himself. Mom has always boasted about him, her golden son who succeeded all on his own. He didn't want to hurt your family's pride. Especially your mother's. Emma was silent for a moment. Did he lie about your jewelry business too? What did he say? That it was just a hobby, something you indulged out of love. That he used his connections to help you make a little money. I sighed. My business made over $4 million last year and employs 20 people. It's not a hobby. What he and your mother have been saying all along aren't true. Emma covered her face with her hands. I had no idea. Candace, I swear, I didn't know. You didn't have to. You just believed what they told you. My phone rang, displaying a text message from William. Candace, let's talk. Please. Don't destroy my company. I'm begging you. There it was, his real fear. He wasn't afraid of losing me. He was afraid for his business. The next morning, I picked up my suitcase and left the apartment. As I closed the door, the elevator doors opened, and William appeared. His face was haggard, his eyes red, his suit from the night before wrinkled. Candace. Where are you going? To see Jessica Anderson. I replied calmly. That fierce divorce lawyer in New York? Are you really going to hire her? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. There's no need for this. We can talk it out. The problem isn't your mother, William. The problem is you. You've always prioritized her over me. And now, all you care about is your business. That's not true. He protested. I saw your text. Please don't destroy my company. You've created this situation yourself. He looked at me with a look of desperation. I love you. No. I said as I headed towards the elevator. You love yourself. Jessica's office was located in the heart of the financial district. She is a woman in her mid-50s with sharp eyes and a dignified demeanor. Ms. Watson, it's an honor to meet you. Please have a seat. Jessica, I want to be clear from the start. I want a divorce. And I want to proceed as efficiently as possible. She nodded. Direct and to the point. Very well. Please tell me about the situation. I began with the events at the restaurant last night, detailed my relationship with William over the past 5 years, and described our business dealings. After reading the last page of the documents, Jessica smiled satisfactorily. Candace, you are very well prepared. Most clients are not this organized about their finances at this stage. I'm a businesswoman. I answered simply. I know the importance of being prepared. And your husband? How is he reacting? He came home this morning as I was leaving the house. He was distraught, mainly worried about his business. Jessica nodded as she took notes. As expected. Men with his type of ego struggle to adapt to sudden shifts in power. But they are fighting a losing battle. With these documents, we are in a very strong position. They fear a scandal. The Watson family is very concerned with their social standing. As I explained, Jessica smirked sharply. Well, they might agree to a settlement quickly then. Scandal and public disgrace are often the outcomes they fear the most. I nodded. So, what's the next step? I will prepare the divorce petition today and contact your husband's lawyer. 3 weeks flew by. I had temporarily moved into a suite in a luxury hotel in Manhattan. It was the final day of the divorce mediation. My cell phone rang. Good morning, Candace. Jessica's voice was as assertive as usual. Are you ready? Yes, perfectly. All the documents are in order, and my mind is clear. Excellent. William's lawyer contacted me. They want to present a final settlement offer. A third settlement proposal. They really haven't learned. As I checked my phone, a news alert from the New York Business Journal popped up. Watson Fund's stock price drops 30% in 2 weeks. As news of William and my divorce began to spread in the industry, investors were getting nervous, especially after it became clear that I owned a significant portion of the company. I scrolled to another article. Queen of the elite social circle, Barbara Watson, resigns from the charity board. Barbara had served on several prestigious charity organizations. The collapse of her son's company and the divorce scandal were damaging the reputation she had built over decades. The phone rang again. This time it was an unknown number. Candace. It was Barbara's voice. Her usual haughtiness was gone, her voice tense. We need to talk. Please go through my lawyer. No, let's talk in person. She insisted. This is a family matter. I'm no longer part of your family, Barbara. Please, Candace. Just meet me once. For coffee. We should be able to resolve this. Resolve what? It's too late. You've looked down on and insulted me for 5 years. And now, as your perfect world begins to crumble, you suddenly want to talk. I was wrong, her voice softened. I was wrong about you. I admit it. No matter what, William is my son. Please don't ruin him, I'm begging you. Her true concern was not an apology to me, but for her son. Let's see how today's mediation goes. I intend to offer a fair settlement. However, whether he accepts it or not is up to William. But goodbye, Barbara. The mediation room was located in a large conference room at the top floor of a law firm. Jessica and I sat on one side, and William and his lawyer sat on the other side. He looked utterly exhausted. "Good morning, everyone. Let's get started," the mediator announced. The next few hours were filled with intense negotiations. Jessica presented investment contracts, bank statements, and incorporation documents one after another. After lunch break, William's demeanor changed. There was something in his eyes that I had never seen before: respect, and perhaps fear. "We will accept Ms. Watson's terms," William's lawyer suddenly announced. "Really?" Jessica confirmed. William answered directly. "Yes. I cannot deny Candace's contributions. She has always been right. I was wrong. About her, about my mother, about everything. I don't want to lose you, Candace. We could still—" "No, William," I interrupted him. "There is no way back for us. However, I am not trying to ruin you. I'm simply asking for what I rightfully deserve." He nodded slowly. "I understand." As we finished signing the last documents, Jessica patted my shoulder. "Congratulations. You've won." Before leaving the room, William approached me. "My mother wants to apologize. She underestimated you. We all did. It's too late. But tell your mother I certainly heard her. I was a high school graduate waitress. And now, I am one of the most successful female entrepreneurs in New York. And I own a significant part of her son's company," I told him. I just grew stronger since that night. I left the law office and got into a taxi. Upon arriving at the penthouse, I placed a stack of documents on the kitchen counter. The doorbell rang. Peering through, I saw a delivery man holding a bouquet. "These are for Ms. Candace Owen." He handed me a large bouquet of white lilies. The card read a brief message. "Best wishes for a new beginning. D.I. Daniel Irving, owner of Cavaliere." I smiled. As the sun fully set, the Manhattan skyline spread before me. Countless lights twinkled in the dark, each representing someone's life, someone's story. Once, I had viewed my worth through the eyes of others. Now, I live by my own standards. I know this isn't the end of my story, it's just the beginning of a new chapter.